If you are a Thai enthusiast, this figure has a very nice pair of thighs. Hi and welcome back to Exclu Garnier Blog and Photography. Steven right here with another Sega prize figure review from Fate's Grand Order once again. This time around featuring a caster class servant, Cleopatra. And yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Cleopatra is the last queen of Egypt. I'm not very good with history, but if my memory serves me right, yeah, last queen of Egypt. Correct me if I'm wrong. And as usual, Sega SPM price, one of their better product lines in terms of quality control amongst all of their price figures, so we shall see how good or bad this figure is in a moment. Before that, the box of this figure is a bit larger than usual for a price figure, no thanks to her hair. As you can see, her hair is spreading out backwards across a large area, so if you account for that, it ends up with a very large box. And this stand right here which props her hair up, it is also a separate part in a separate compartment in the box, so it contributed to a larger box size. Not very good in terms of shipping cost, but well, just buy a few items and combine shipping to save on the cost. So as usual with Sega SPM price, I have reviewed another one recently, which is Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci actually came out about a month or two later after Cleopatra. Cleopatra was released first. In terms of the quality control, both figures are extremely similar, which is good news. Incredible sculpt, no complaints from me whatsoever. Very precise, the face looks exactly what the character should look like if you refer this figure to the original artwork. So I have no complaints with the sculpt. But as usual with price figures, you are going to get mold lines across the side of the figure over here. Da Vinci was a lot better in this regard. You can barely see the mold lines with your bare eyes, with naked eyes, unless you shine light directly on the figure, then you will be able to see it a bit. But with this Cleopatra, the mold lines on the side, they are rather obvious. Though I would not say this is a big negative in any way, because most if not all price figures have these molding lines, low budget products, so yeah. However, when you put aside these molding lines on the side of the figure, I could barely find much fault with the paint job of the figure, which is fantastic once again for a price figure. From what I have noticed is that Sega figures, when there are gold color trims, they tend to get the paintwork done very well and you can't find much faults with it. And if I were to point out one single paint flaw, yeah, once again, this is very common among price figures. There is some paint bleeding between the black and white separation areas on the front of the clothes over here. But once again, this is extremely common among price figures. Not a major concern, at least at this price point. This same pattern of paint bleeding or deficiency continues on the back. And when you inspect how the deficiency looks like, this is mostly down to masking errors or inappropriate masking. Yes, the masking tape you use for painting. And the reason why I know this has to do with masking is because I have experienced the same exact paint issue when I'm painting my own props for figure photography. At this price point, I guess you can't complain too much anyway. Also, there is this stand right here at the back which props her hair up. I'm not really a fan of it. If I were to display this figure, well, I want to remove it. Also with this stand right here, it consists of two separate parts, but it does not fix together very well. It does not fit very well, these two separate parts. And when I inspected this in detail, you can see that there is some protrusion on the top right here. Here is a macro view. You can see some very minor amount of excess plastic on top. You just take a pen knife and remove it and you'll be fine. But without doing that, it does not fit very well, these two separate parts. Anyways, let's just put this thing aside, alright? I don't like this stand at all. Okay, if there is one issue with this figure, is this part in front of her. I'm not really sure what it is. This one comes off very easily, so be careful not to lose this part, not to break it as well. It is very easy to knock this off because it is not very tight fitting and it is a small part anyway. So yeah, I think this is the only part you need to watch out. Figure connection to base, very stable, no complaints, right? Very sturdy. So that is about it with the review of this figure of Cleopatra. Very decent work coming from Sega. Not much complaints about this figure other than the very visible mold lines on the side because I've seen better from Sega. And yeah, this stand right here, I don't like it at all. Other than the fans of 5th Grand Order or Cleopatra, should anyone else even consider buying this figure of Cleopatra? Well, if you are a Thai enthusiast, maybe you should. This figure has a very nice pair of thighs. So that might be a reason to buy one, I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's about it for today's figure review. Thank you very much for watching, and if you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask it in the comments below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you and see you guys again. Goodbye.